Okay, good morning students. We'll begin the class on the second unit, that is on academic writing. Now in the previous unit we have seen why is this writing, what are the different phases of writing. Okay, we have seen 3 different phases of writing and the difference between academic writing and general writing. We have seen why is this academic writing important, the significance of academic writing. So recall those points which we have done. Going ahead with, now to write, what is the basis for us to write? What is the basis for us for writing? Okay, you say it is style. Okay. What else? Okay, one says style. Agreed. What else? What else is required for writing? Format. Okay. Apart from format, what skills do you need? Writing skills is needed. Okay, that is by default. Okay. What else? Reading. What kind of reading should it be? No, I am not talking about academic writing. Okay, in specific academic writing, I am just talking to you in terms of writing what is required. Okay, objective. Who said topic? Okay, topic, close to the answer. Yeah? Purpose. Okay. Now when you talk about this topic, okay, anyone else with any other answer for writing? Okay, punctuations is needed. Okay. Yeah? Critical thinking. Thinking, shall we put it? Okay, in that we'll put it as critical. Critical and anything else here for thinking? Analytical. Okay. What else? Okay, let's take these now for the time being. Out of all this, which do you think becomes very important for writing? Okay, topic and objective. Now if you want to know about this topic, you're close to the answer. What is this topic? What is this topic? Is there any other name for this term called topic? Okay, content. Any other thing? Topic. What could be included under this topic? Now everywhere you go, you find students being motivated on one particular thing. What is that? What is that? Everywhere you go, there is some kind of a thing that is being motivated. Even this chief minister, prime minister also has given this kind of a drive. Close to this. Context, influence. No? What is that? Yesterday the BBA block had, yeah, close to it. What does entrepreneurship, what is that? Innovation is what? Close to the answer. Startups is on what? Based on what? MECM, yesterday there was a big contest in BBA block. What was it based on? What kind of a presentation it was? Business? Right, pitching your idea. So unless and until you have an idea, You cannot move with all these things. Am I right? Just go back onto it a little more. What is this idea and why do you require this idea? See, whether to start your business, you need an idea. Okay, to be creative and to have this critical and analytical thinking, you need an idea. Okay, to write also you need an idea, because if you have an idea, you can build your ideas, you can surround your thoughts onto it, you could move forward onto whatever you really want to put it down on your paper. So idea becomes the main important aspect for writing. Okay, now to develop this idea, what is required? What is required to develop this idea? Okay, research, knowledge. Who will create the interest? If you are the writer, who has to create interest for you? Huh? Audience have to create. But do you think that a writer always has the audience? Do you think that to bring about a movie, okay, to shoot a movie, you need the audience? Is it required? No. So likewise for writing also, why do you need the audience? The writer writes keeping the audience in mind. So it is, the writing process begins, the generation of idea begins with the reader oriented strategy. So the writer begins with the writing strategies and then moving on to something called the reader oriented strategy that he has to adopt. So writing specially begins, or it begins with something called idea. So to write a paragraph, to write an essay, you need to develop, you need to generate ideas. How do you generate ideas? Yeah? Yeah, you think, you imagine. Okay, thinking is needed. Thinking how? See, to generate idea, the first step that we have to keep in mind is think. You should think. How are you going to think? Just like that? Randomly? You will think carefully. Okay, yes or no? You have an idea. I have an idea about this board rubber. That is not enough. I should think properly as to how to use this. Now, if you give an ATM card to a 13th century or a 14th century person, let's take to your great grandparents, they will not know. They will just see the card, flip it all over and put it. But we have to take them to the ATM center to tell them how to use that card. Yes or no? So they have to put something called thinking into it. Thinking not of just like that. Thinking carefully. So while you are writing or generating ideas, you got to think carefully. Thinking carefully. What else? This will be the first step. Thinking carefully will be the first step. What is the next step? Is it enough if you only think? Before presenting, what goes into it? Let's take, go back to your grandparents again. You are taking them to the ATM center, giving them the card. You are asking them to insert the card. Okay, some thinking goes there. But to insert the card also, they should understand how to insert the card. You can't put it. So thinking goes with what? Huh? What step? The first step is your thinking. Second step will be direction. Okay, let's take direction. For this direction to happen, for the idea to move forward, you need certain direction. So for the direction to happen, what is that goes with that direction? Okay, very good. The connection is required there. So if it's connection, what is the other word that you could use for connection? How do you analyze? Only when there is something that is happening, you analyze it. How do you analyze? Shubham? How do you analyze certain things? How do you analyze? See, when you think, there is something that goes with it. What is that? You have to understand certain things. So the first step for you to understand or to develop or to generate your idea is to think and then to understand the context. Yes or no? So understanding is another thing. Okay. Now when you think, you understand. After understanding, what do you do? What do you do after understanding? You are executing. How do you execute it? How do you execute your idea? Yes, by making notes, by jotting down certain points, because all of us don't have the habit of making notes then and there. Sometimes we try to record it somewhere in our mind. We record it somewhere in our mind in terms of mapping. We map the idea. Okay. Sometimes we also go with something called free will. Free writing. Okay. What happens in free writing is you get 1001 ideas generated in your mind, and then it is very crazy. While you have these ideas, it's not getting connected. But somewhere or the other, you put it down and then later revise it, go back to it and then try to connect the threads. That is another way of writing. Another way of writing or generating ideas. One is free writing. One is idea, you are mapping the idea. The other one, what is the other way of doing it? Case study. Can you generate ideas with case study? Yes, to a certain extent. Yes. But then to write or to generate your ideas. Experiences. Yes, you take experiences. You read them and then you try to put them down in your own words. Okay. But what is the basic thing that we are supposed to be doing? You will ask yourself, okay, if this is the idea that I have, how can I move with this idea? You will ask certain questions to yourself, right? You will ask several questions as to how am I going to go about it. If this is the idea, who will be my target audience? Why should they be my target audience? Why should I not be writing like this? What is that which is stopping me to write like this? So your idea, when you will have many things running in your mind crazily. You'll have silly things to be answered also sometimes. Silly things keep coming in your mind. Put them down. Because sometimes those ideas, whatever comes at random, is only going to help you move forward to develop your ideas. So from words to phrases to sentences to paragraph. Do you get the connectivity? Okay, words to phrases to sentences, and then you move to something called paragraph. And this paragraph moves to something called essay. Do you get the connectivity, students? So it is all got to do with something called generating your ideas. So once you generate your ideas, it is all in words. So you put those words together, you connect it in something called phrases, and then from phrases you move to something called sentences. From sentences you move to something called paragraph, and from this paragraph you move to something called essay. Now paragraph also, how is it worded? Or what is the structure of a paragraph? What is the structure of a paragraph? Any idea?
Introduction.
Okay, introduction. Okay, intro. body, what else? Conclusion, okay. Conclusion, and what else? Introduction, as you have seen and we have read also, we have something called the topic sentence there. Okay, all words put together make a topic sentence. Then when it comes to the body of the paragraph, there you will have something called, you are talking about the similarities of something, you are comparing and contrasting, you are using some verbs, you are using some adjectives. The same idea has been extended there in the body of your paragraph. Yes or no? So there what do? You talk about the comparison, contrast, you talk about the cause and effect, you talk about certain similarities, you are going to describe about that idea all the more. So all these aspects are covered in something called the body of your paragraph. Concluding is, you are going to, as you have compared, contrasted, you have talked about the cause and effect, you have talked about the similarities, you are going to talk about what value you are going to carry with the idea that you have already developed in terms of your conclusion part of it. Okay, so writing students, the first thing that we have to keep in mind is to generate the idea. After generating the idea, you got to think about it clearly, carefully, and you have to understand in which context you are trying to put this idea. Now, idea, as I have started my class by saying that we need idea for business, we need idea to also be sitting in the class, to start your project work, to write your research paper, you need an idea, okay, to also move forward to what exactly you want to share with your readers. So idea becomes the basis for all these aspects. So writing means you need that idea where you can really develop. And there are various methods where you can put across your ideas, right? That is, the first one is the brainstorming method. Second one is the mapping method. Third one is the freestyle of writing. Fourth one is the modeling method of writing. Okay, so take it down. The first aspect, writing, generating or developing an idea. Developing an idea. Yeah, your heading will go as developing an idea. This is Unit 2 students, developing an idea. The first step is carefully reading and understanding. Carefully reading and understanding. Second aspect, generate ideas. Generate ideas for your project, generate ideas for your project / research paper / notes. Okay, the third step that you are doing is you are going to gather the information. The third step is gathering information. Gathering information. Now, while you are gathering information, that is, if it's for your research paper, what goes into it? While you are gathering the information, will you just gather it, put together and just sit on to it? No, you will start asking, okay, this is the knowledge I had about this idea and I have to move forward. That is, the first thing is, you are going to ask yourself, how are you going to use this information and where all you could place it. Okay, so take it down. The next step for developing your idea, the next step, you will want to see what you already know. You will want to see what you already know and think about a subject. What you already know and think about a subject. The next step, you will want to see what ideas you can come up with yourself. Okay? The next step, you define what questions you want to start. You will define what questions you want to start your project with, your project/research with. Okay? Okay? Now, for example, if I ask you, Veer, what is your way of generating idea? What is your way of generating idea? You'll only think, that's it. What will be your way of generating idea? Nothing? Okay, Mehak, what will be your way of generating idea? Brainstorming. Okay, you'll do the brainstorming part. Ankit, what will be your way of idea? You will observe the surroundings. Very good. Navdeep, what is your way of generating ideas? Okay, Amin. Research. Okay, you'll research. So there are different ways of generating your ideas, that is, some of them learn, some of them think, some of them do it by observation, some of them do it very differently. Probably the minute they see something, they try to record it. Record it could be audio, it could be video, it could be written form. That's what L.A. Hill says. Writing is not 99% luck. It is 1% luck, 99% hard work. Please remember this. Writing just does not come like that. You need to put in 99% of hard work and 1% of luck that goes with writing. So it is like giving birth to a child. So writing is not an easy task. You got to revisit it 10 times. The same thing goes with idea, because your idea, you are moving forward to something called your written task. So take it down. The next side heading, ways of generating ideas. Ways of generating ideas. First one is thinking. Second one is learning. Next one is observation. The next point is, the next way is free writing. Let me take you through one simple example. All of us must have witnessed something called elocution or debate. Some of us by heart or memorize our points in such a way, even if you miss out one preposition or an article, you go blank. Yes or no? Same way when it comes to writing. Don't think about your writing in perfect way of doing it, that is the grammatical errors, without errors. While you are just putting it down, initial stages of writing is you'll have lots of grammatical errors because your thoughts keep coming and then you start recording it. So don't bother about the appropriateness of your language, your style, your format, whatever you have mentioned here, the punctuation. As your thoughts keep coming, just jot it down. So that's another way of developing it. That's called nothing but freestyle, free writing. So when you are onto this thing of developing your ideas, don't think about accuracy, don't think about efficiency. Just write whatever comes. Even if it's the silliest way of writing, please put it down onto your paper. Okay, even if it's a crazy idea that comes to your mind, put it down on the paper. Okay, so take it down. There are 4 methods. There are 4 methods of generating ideas. There are 4 methods of generating ideas. First one is brainstorming. First one is brainstorming. Second one is free writing. Free writing. Third one is idea. Idea. Put a small hyphen dash. Map/web. Yeah, mind mapping. It could be map/web. W-E-B, web. The fourth one is moodling. M-O-O-D-L-I-N-G. Moodling. Okay? Done? The next aspect that we are going to look at is what is the focus? The next aspect, what is the focus while writing? What is the focus while writing? How should you focus while you are generating this idea and while writing this idea? Take it down. Writing process starts. Writing process starts as writer oriented and gradually moves forward to reader oriented and gradually moves forward to reader oriented. Next aspect, take it down. Let the ideas from this stage, come out freely, semicolon. It will be wild because it is at the initial stages. Okay, it will be wild and crazy, and also silly, S-I-L-L-Y, silly. Next one, if you censor these ideas, or your thinking, if you censor these ideas or thinking, it might be dumb and crazy. Next point, eliminate the ideas eliminate the ideas once you are sure that you have enough to work on. Once you are sure you have enough to work on. Okay? So, very simple, students. Anything that you begin, be it an idea, be it your business, be it your writing, be it your project work, initially everything looks very confusing for you. You have lots of information, but you don't know where to put it across. So once you are sure that you have enough of work to do, enough of thinking that you have, enough of information that you have, you can start chalking it down properly in a very logical sequence. So idea generation itself is always in the initial stages, which looks very crazy, silly, dumb, but we all begin like that as a novice kind of a writers to something called reader oriented writing. So it is all at the tertiary level, it's at a basic level. Then you start moving forward with your ideas, attaching to it with some more information, censoring it and looking forward for a better piece of text. Okay, thank you.